again. Flavor of the week code, 15% off for all retail, 5% for wholesale, FOTW. Definitely recommend you guys this want to try because I love this in the morning with my tea or coffee.
Tiramisu is really nice actually. It's so good because I find sometimes the fruity flavors are hard with coffee, tea, whatever.
Especially menthol. I like menthol flavors. Drinking coffee and vape menthol is a nasty combination.
That's the most popular from the International Delights line.
Yeah.
Like that one and the...
Actually, it's funny, at a few shows we've been to, this has been the first one to actually sell out. I guess it's something so unique and it's marked so well.
So, I mean, this week we'll be talking about, we already talked about the tiramisu, but we're going to be talking about smoking cessation, and we're going to touch a little bit about Big Pharma and kind of like their involvement in everything, basically. Really, like, it's surprising when you really look into it how much Big Pharma has a hand and a play in so much that goes on.
It's funny, like all these like big like conglomerates have like how much power they have on controlling whether it be like the farming industry, the gun lobby, big pharma, big tobacco. It's all really interesting, especially the farmers one's really interesting. But either way, some of the other conduits that they've tried to capitalize on the sensation market. It's been they want a piece of that pie.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that there's, especially the smoking cessation side. So a couple that we'll touch on before we get into the big pharma. So everyone knows there's the nicotine gum. Personally, I tried some of that before. It wasn't really for me. It was really like the first 2 minutes were bearable because the flavor was okay. But then after the first 2 minutes, it was just disgusting. If anyone has any comments about smoking cessation, definitely drop them in the comments right now.
Yeah, I'd love to hear you guys' experience with any alternatives.
Yeah.
It's funny, actually, someone yesterday at a shop was telling me they tried these pills. I couldn't remember the name, but they tried...
Champax.
Yeah.
Champax, actually, it's... what did they say about it?
They said she considers herself to be quite mentally strong, so it's okay, but she could really easily see if you weren't on top of your stuff or you had going through some bad times in your life, how that could really affect. The other symptom she only had was very vivid dreams.
Yeah.
But she said she gave credit to it, which was, she said it helped. I don't know how, but she said it wasn't without its the side effects, but it affects everything. Everyone's a different experience, obviously, with anything.
Yeah, no, I think, and like Brandon is saying that he tried the patch, and he tried Nicorette. Nicorette is nasty. Yeah, the patch, we've seen, according to statistics, the patch has greater success than the gum. Champax, the one that Chris was talking about right now, what I've heard about it a lot of times actually constantly is tied to depression, suicide. I was talking to a shop owner like a year or two ago, and he said that one of the reasons that he got into vaping was that he was having Champax, and one day he woke up and he's like, it was only like 2 weeks, and he's like started questioning himself like, why am I alive? Why am I? They have all these like deep questions, and as soon as you start thinking, he's like, whoa, this is a problem. I gotta get off. And so he got off the obviously off of Champax. Scott's saying I was allergic to the latex with the patch. Oh, that's interesting.
I'm surprised they make it from latex. I thought they would have had a more like allergenic neutral material.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. You're killing out there in Paris. It's good to see other Canadians out there doing a lot of other things. You guys were in Copenhagen a little while ago. We had Joe on as a guest a few weeks ago.
In Spain, that looked like a good time out there. All the food, pretty deadly.
Yeah. So Big Pharma, this is an interesting thing because Big Pharma actually plays a huge role in a lot of what goes on. But they kind of hold the strings in a way. Like they dump so much money into sales and marketing and R&D. As well as the lobbyists, that they're the ones really pushing things and making things happen.
Yeah, like it's insane. Like someone like let's say Johnson & Johnson company, they do 17.5 billion in sales and marketing, and then 8.2 billion in R&D. That's more than the whole vape industry combined.
That's crazy. No, it's crazy because even the lobbying, that's really where the money comes. That's really where the money gets spent and where things happen.
That's exactly the breeding ground where all this money can come and start to make things happen in their favor.
What's interesting is that the tobacco lobbying has significantly gone down in 2017, and you can really see. I think that a lot of what happened is that they started putting in lobbyists against e-cigarettes. And so my opinion on what has happened with big tobacco and e-cigarettes is that right now, and especially in the last 2 years, look at what the FDA has been doing with the e-cigarette market down south. They've been releasing all this craziness, so much confusion. They come out the gate saying, oh, you're going to pay 100,000. They're saying you're going to pay $1 million. You're going to do this, you can do that. And it's there's so much confusion that's going on. And at the same time, you look at what's going on with the government in general and medicine, and you get these big, huge medical companies, massive, big pharmas like GSK, GlaxoSmithKline, that are spending billions and billions on lobbying against e-cigarettes. They're telling policymakers that e-cigarettes could be a gateway to smoking again.
Yeah, no, that's just it. And the other that for big tobacco, like Mitch Zeller, he was the director. He is the director of the FDA's Center for Tobacco Products, and he was the main author, the chief author behind the one who proposed the electronic cigarette regulations to the FDA, and he came directly from GSK.
That's interesting.
They still have these lobbying budgets. They're just they're just reallocating their funds to different initiatives. So that budget's not going anywhere for against the lobbying.
The GSK company, I'm not going to say these are all facts, but they've been there's a lot of conspiracies about them. And I did a lot of reading on them for a couple of years, and some of the things that's really interesting is how they allocate their funds and how they really quantify everything. So, for example, when they're doing R&D on a product, they might say they might spend for example, $1 billion on R&D, but then they'll put aside $4 billion for the lawsuit budget and all that kind of stuff. And it's so shitty because they weigh things out. So they look at it like, okay, we've already spent $1 billion on R&D. We can go spend another $1 billion, but why don't we just add a little bit more to the lawsuit fund? We know that some people are going to be
affected by it. Yeah, they literally know that stuff's going to hit the fan, and when it does, they've already got the kit ready to go.
Yeah, and it's such a vicious cycle. And then the other thing is also the way they do things. They value, for example, let's put a price on human lives. So when a couple of years ago they went down to South America, they wanted to do some testing. So what they were doing, this is again facts, things that are conspiracies. If you want to hear about them, contact me. But the ones we're saying right now are facts. Like, they went down to South America. They were basically illiterate people were coming into the hospital to get treatment for their children, and what they were getting these guys to do was just sign off on treatment. And what the treatment included was R&D for this company, and so they were testing on babies. And the only reason this came to light was that there was 15,000 babies that died through this whole process.
No, now that you talk about this, I totally remember reading about that.
Yeah, and what they're finding, I think what they're finding was it wasn't even anything much. It was maybe 200 million or something like that. So basically they look at it we bought 15,000 babies for 200 million. So it's an acceptable cost to them. It's really, when you start looking at it from their point of view, they're like, okay, we're going to make 30 billion on this product. All of our costs all in are 10 billion. Who cares? We're gonna buy some babies.
It's so sickening to you're going up against people that literally put risk reward again on people's lives for potential profit, and now they're entering this industry. It's gonna be scary to see what can happen if we don't really get together and really make sure we're portraying the proper image and what the actual objective is.
What I really hope is the way I see it is big tobacco has its interests, and big pharma has its interests. Big pharma's objective is to maximize profits. Big tobacco's objective is to maximize profits. They both have this very core objective. Now, big pharma, it sells medicine. Where these conspiracies come from and the root of them and the basis that they are on have value. Where there's smoke, there's fire. So if they're doing these things, it's become very clear that their objective is more important than the health or the welfare of the consumer. So if it means that the consumers are more hurt or whatever happens, it is what it is. And so with smoking cessation, e-cigarettes, what my hope is that maybe over the next 10 years, as they become more and more proprietary, then you're going to need a new product to get you off of e-cigarettes.
Yeah.
Because now they're so full of chemicals, so full of junk, and the big tobacco makers are spewing all this garbage out, and then big pharma's coming and they're saying, oh, you need this now, this product, this will counter these effects that you're having from this product.
I'm really curious how they're gonna, because they're really lambasting all the vaping and all this stuff. So how are they really going to, if they put it in the ground, what's going to be the next vape thing that they're going to try and push through their conduits? That's going to be it's interesting. You see a few articles, obviously Juul's been the hot topic, taking a lot of flack for all that, and just between that big pharma trying to get their control of nicotine. So it's curious. They're all ostracizing each other, but with their own agenda to kind of put their own product on the market.
Yeah, and what Clayton's saying is true. I mean, what Clayton's saying, Vape is, and all these big tobacco products, they are coming out. And like, look at Vape, the excessive marketing campaign that they're doing. It's because they have the money. Like, big tobacco has endless amounts of money. The amount of money, the whole vaping industry was supposed to be about 3-4 billion last year. Big tobacco, I think it was.
Yeah, the R&D for that IQOS was $2 billion.
Yeah,
just $3 billion,
just to get the ready, just to get the product pre-market. That's just to get the product ready. And that was the whole market, the whole vaping industry. So I think they were kind of waiting, throwing enough craziness with the FDA so nobody could really get a true grasp of, or a true hold on the market. Juul's done a really good job. I'm surprised if they haven't already been bought out. Vape and all these ones are coming in now. And so I think the industry is really going to change over the next few years.
I don't think anyone will be touching Juul for a while.
Yeah, Juul.
They've got a lot of legalities tied around their heads, so that should be interesting to see how that plays out. I saw, I think, an article today, something about more lawsuits. But I mean, with this stuff, there's always some new article popping about related to these vaping companies and how they're pursuing each other. It's we'll see. It'll be interesting if it actually comes to fruition in the new year. All this.
Yeah.
All right. I guess next up we got a guest here. We got Manny, aka Bass Knox. He's a producer and a DJ out here in actually just on the island, Victoria, BC. Doing a lot of networking, getting gigs all around, especially now in Victoria. They have a nice, like, it's a university town. They got a lot of cool, like, little venues and stuff. They're big into the music and local talent, so definitely a cool spot to be for stuff like that. What else we got in?
My objective is to collaborate with as many people as possible. I want to help people reach their dreams in music and create records with musicians that are also starting out their music campaign. And so, yeah, it's awesome to be here with you guys.
Awesome, yeah, no, it's good to have you on here. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Born and raised in Victoria, BC. I'm 19 years old. Been producing for about 4.5 years now. My favorite thing to do is make some dubstep music and make some hip hop and collab with rappers. And yeah, I got plenty of records coming out, so that's the biggest thing right now. Besides that, I just want to reach out to as many people as possible and get some moves going in the industry, and that's the idea behind it.
So, what got you in?
So basically, I've always been really interested in music ever since I was born, and so the first time I heard electronic music, it was Daft Punk, and that was really awesome, and then I really wanted to learn how to make music. So when I learned that you can just get a laptop and learn how to make music on a laptop without instruments, I wanted to try that out, and that's what I did about 4 years ago. That's
trippy. It's so interesting how music is, like every other industry, has really been changed by the new technology age. And like, now it's not really about instruments. I was playing around with that GarageBand on the iPad, and it's so crazy because literally everything is now digital.
Yeah, man, everything.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like, you can get if you have music's really a passion that you want to get into. Now there's with technology, you can start producing tracks with just a basic computer, or at least start getting a feel for it to see if it's something that you pursue. How's Victoria been for you? I know when we're out there, there's always a lot of cool, like, random events going on, all the venues. It's a real fun town to be in. You happy kind of starting out Victoria, a good place to cut your teeth at?
Oh yeah, I feel so lucky to be in Victoria, actually. There's always crazy events happening. DJ Z-Trip is playing tonight at Capitol Ballroom. Like, there's always awesome shit going down here, and it's the best place to start out, in my opinion. Like, there's nothing like going to a bush rave up island and just, like, making everyone get super lit at freaking, like, 5 in the morning because it's Victoria, and that's what we do.
Yeah, no, I've heard some good stories out of Victoria. That's pretty cool. What about you guys? How's you vape at all?
Yeah, man, got vape right here, bro. My favorite juice was actually your guys' orange creamsicle, but I'm so disappointed that that's been discontinued. At least the stores here in Vic, I can't find it.
Oh, Cimitech should have it on the island. Cimitech has it's just got the new label on there. It's House of VanGo creamsicle. We still got that. Oh no, actually no. Sorry, that was pre-regulation. Now it's Orange Dream. Yeah, Orange Dream is the
Orange Dream.
Yeah, that's the one, man. Definitely check that one out.
I'm definitely gonna check that out because that was my favorite, and it's actually hilarious because I used to vape you guys' juice all the time, and a few years ago, I think it was 2015, I met Bobber at Fade in the Park, and I was like, "So you're involved with VanGo juice?" And he was like, "Yeah." And it was so crazy because all my friends and I back home we're always vaping VanGo juice. And
That's love to hear it. Definitely, I got a lot of love on the island. That's cool to hear. You coming out to the mainland at all for any gigs?
Oh yeah, man. I'm definitely looking forward to doing that in the future. Nothing at the moment, but it'd be a super awesome opportunity to come out to Vancouver and throw down. That'd be awesome. That's one of the struggles behind doing music is being able to reach out to people in different regions so you can play for them. But
so like,
only a matter of time.
What are the challenges you face as an upcoming musician, and like, what do you do to get around those obstacles?
So being an introverted person, that made networking pretty hard. So in meeting people that you can collab with or anything like that was really a big struggle at first. But just had to focus on my passion and focus that the reason I'm here is to make music and to share that with everybody. So that is what motivates me to go and meet people, and that was the biggest struggle at first.
Yeah, so your passion kind of lets you push your comfort zone to get out there.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Nice.
And so I guess you're working as well to kind of cover your costs while.
Yeah, I work full time, so it's like it's an everyday grind to produce music, but it's the best grind that I could ever dream about. So
well, I mean, like that's the thing is like if it's something that you're willing to put the grind in for, then it's worth doing. And really, if you want to do something, you have to put the grind in. Like the job where your first 40 hours, we've actually mentioned this a couple times, is like your first 40, 50 hours is just getting your bread and butter, is just doing the basics. And if you want to go further in life, you want to do something more, you need that extra, 30, 40 hours, whatever it is. But that 60 to 80 hour work week is kind of like, I mean, would you agree? Would you say about 60 to 80 hours between your job and the musical side, is that kind of what you're looking at putting in?
Yeah, that's basically what I'm looking at right now, but like, you just gotta do what you can with the time you got, and what happens is you become a lot more efficient at making music faster, making better music faster. It's all about how much time you put into the production process in the long run. Really, that's what matters.
Awesome. I guess there's a similarity to vaping. You gotta, sometimes that creativity, you just need that. Sometimes you just be doing this trying to think, oh, hey, this would work really well. So I guess there's always that factor. You can't always force creativity.
Yeah, totally. Like, there's so many times where I won't be expecting to be creative, but I'll be like at work, and then I'll have some crazy idea, and I'll wish I could just pull my laptop out and do it up. It doesn't always work that way, but yeah, creativity is always key. Every weekend on Saturdays, I drop another mix on my Mixcloud. That's Bass Knox. And so, Mixcloud, I have a few different series of mixes out right now. There's Bass Mix, which is trap, dubstep, and I think there's a little bit of house in there too. And I just make a nice compilation of my favorite current songs. And for like my other series, it's called Dirty, Filthy, and Nasty Mix. I have only one volume out so far, but it's like super hard hitting dubstep, and every Saturday I'll be uploading more episodes in those series, and I'll also be uploading more series as well. So I'm not just here to make one genre of music. I want to share my favorite songs that are house, hip hop, dubstep, trap. So yeah, that's
awesome.
What I do. It's Bass Knox, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Mixcloud. And I'm always going to be active, so hit me up.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on.
It's good meeting you, Matty. Best of luck with everything.
It's my pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, man. Well, that was interesting. It's really interesting to see, again, like how all these industries are so affected by technology.
Yeah.
Musician nowadays is worried about a killer computer. Not like...
Or like a killer keyboard with all like the buttons you can program. I think that's a wrap, guys.
Yeah.
Any final comments?
Yeah, we had a plug from Brandon. But yeah, again, we want to remind everyone, flavor of the week is tiramisu. So, Coffee Delight.
Coffee Delight.
It tastes like a tiramisu cake.
Yeah, that's the profile.
So, flavor of the week, 5% off for retail, 15% for wholesale.
Other way around, but yep.
Oh, yeah.
15% for retail, 5% for wholesale. FOTW on the discount code. And yeah, I guess see you guys next week.
Take
Thanks
care.
for tuning in.